Hey guys, welcome to the January 15th, 2013 edition of the Matt Rundown. And I decided I'm going to do something a little bit different today. You know, it's such a nice day outside here today. A lot of people would think it's cold, but here in Texas we get, 112-degree summer, so, if it's a little cold, I like it like that. So I'm actually going to be doing this outside on my patio here today. So the first thing I have to talk about here today is the WWE's Be a Star anti-bullying campaign, and what was up with Biggie Langston taking out Hornswoggle on SmackDown? I understand it's pro wrestling, things like that happen. But if you're going to try so hard to project this image that you're against bullying, why would you do that? It makes no sense to me. And to me, next topic, 3 and B, they seem like 3 guys that weren't being used, so the WWE just decided to throw them together. They don't really seem to have anything in common, so yeah. Are you guys sick of hearing "this is how we do it" on a certain company's tax commercials that I won't name? Yeah, I'm kind of sick of seeing that every other commercial break. Apparently Daniel Bryan wants to be called the Dazzler now. What is the point of that? Is he dazzling? Maybe there's a inside joke with this this title. I don't really understand, but if you guys know anything about it, let me know. Why is it that pyro at the beginning of WWE shows is pretty much gone now? I don't know if this is like a fire code thing or if they decided to just do away with it. But it's something that I definitely miss. Back during the Attitude Era, and on, up until recently, that was a great way to start the show, get the crowd energized, and it's just something that I miss, and I wish they'd bring it back. The 20th anniversary of Raw, the way it was advertised, at least my interpretation was that there would be superstars from the 20-year history of Raw. That's the way that I interpreted it. They had a mashup of all the different intros from Raw over the years, which was cool, but there was no throwback stage. There were hardly any throwback superstars, Mick Foley and Ric Flair. Maybe I'm missing a few, but those are the only 2 I can think of right now. And it just seems like a big wasted opportunity. This is the 20th anniversary. You had a lot of superstars come back for Raw 1000. So why would you not have anyone big come back for the 20th anniversary? It doesn't make much sense to me. Speaking of Mick Foley, most of you probably have already known or knew before Raw that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He comes out, says a few words, and then it turns into RYBACK and Shield and Randy Orton and Sheamus segment. They didn't even want to give Mick Foley any kind of segment on Raw. It was cool that he had the moment with The Rock, the reunion of The Rock and Sock Connection backstage. I definitely liked that, but why would you trivialize Mick Foley getting into the Hall of Fame like that? It doesn't make sense to me. Why is Vince McMahon a face? I know that the Attitude Era is never going to come back. That's not what I'm talking about here. But these days it's always like the heel, talking to Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon as a face. Like, for example, Raw last night, Big Show, yes sir, Mr. McMahon, doing all that. And to me, Mr. McMahon works a lot better as a heel. And Big Show brought up his ironclad contract again, which I think is kind of funny. WWE contracts are unilateral, and what I mean by that is that if you're a talent and you're under contract with WWE, you cannot just up and leave. That's breach of contract. But they can fire you, release you anytime they please. So this ironclad contract is just ridiculous. WCW back in the days were giving out tons of guaranteed money, and well, we all know what happened with that. I actually have to say, and this is kind of weird to me, Del Rio as a face is starting to grow on me. As a heel, I didn't really care for him too much. I thought he was kind of boring. But as a face, I don't know why, but it seems to work a lot better for me. So, good move. And Big Show and Alberto Del Rio will be competing for the World Heavyweight title at the Royal Rumble. And my prediction here is that Dolph Ziggler will cash in his Money in the Bank contract. I just think that the reason Del Rio has it, not to take anything away from him here, is because the Big Show is a heel, and they didn't want him to take it away from another heel, so they gave it to Del Rio. But we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of talk over the last few months about Randy Orton turning heel. And, I mean, I still hope it happens. I think he works a lot better as a heel. But as the time goes on, it just seems less and less likely to me. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think about that. And so, on to TNA real quick. Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan are getting married this Thursday on Impact. You know, at least that's what the story is. Now, these pro wrestling weddings, they never work out as planned. So, how will this one get ruined? I mean, we'll see. And if you want to hear more thoughts on TNA, just go ahead and check out my TNA Genesis 2013 results and recap on this channel, and I'll give you all my thoughts on that. Back to Raw real quick. There was a nice segment with Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Dr. Shelby, and Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes would show up and pretty much just make fun of the Doctor, rip him up, and he even compared him to Dr. Phil, and you know, brawl ensued. One thing, this led to 2 matches. One thing I'm noticing a lot with the WWE, I mean, maybe this was happening before, but I never really noticed it as much. It seems a lot more common now, is they'll take tag teams, and I mean, this might be because they have to stretch the 3-hour Raw now, but they'll take 2 tag teams, and they'll just mix them together and have 2 singles matches. And so last night was Kane versus Sandow, and Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes. You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if next Monday they flip-flop it and have Kane versus Cody Rhodes and Daniel Bryan versus Damian Sandow. But we'll see. And we will have a tag team title match at the Royal Rumble, Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars. You know, and back to the Ryback, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Shield segment. After that whole fiasco, Ryback said something that made absolutely no sense to me. He said, "I will not rest until I give back to the Shield what they have taken from me." What does this mean? How are you going to give back something that's been taken from you? Ryback, he just seems kind of awkward on the mic to me. I mean, he still is green. You know, I'll give him that. But the WWE is definitely wanting to make him a top guy. You know, I think he needs some work on the mic. Before the Eve and Caitlyn match, it was reported that Caitlyn was the WWE Magazine Diva of the Month. Now, I used to get the WWE Magazine when it was the WWF Magazine way back in the day, in, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s, you know, back when they would have, I don't think they do this anymore, but they used to have pay-per-view results at the very end in photos and stuff like that. And that was a while ago, but the way that I look at this is, how many divas are there that you're going to have a Diva of the Month? Are there even 12 divas? You know, I can't name 12 divas, you know. So let me know what you guys think about that. Caitlyn ends up winning the Divas title, and Eva's leaving. This was reported, I think Monday morning, that she would be leaving. But, you know, to me, I might be spoiled from the days of, you know, Sable and Lita and Trish and, you know, even Chyna, if you want to consider her a diva, even though she competed with men. You know, it just seems like they're keeping this division going to say that they have a Divas division, but it seems pretty dead in the water to me. So they need to work on it. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just not appealing to me anymore. I mean, you can put all the pretty faces in there you want. You know, pretty faces are a dime a dozen. You know, we need women that can actually do something exciting in the ring, and the WWE just doesn't seem to be delivering that nearly as much as they used to, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. And Brodus Clay is pissed that CM Punk was basically making fun of his gimmick. And to me, I don't know how you can be pissed. I mean, I know it's kayfabe, but you know, dude, you're huge, okay, Brodus Clay. You know, you could be a top guy. You could be competing in main events, you know, but you're never going to coming out dancing and stuff like that. You know, it's just not going to work. So you can be mad about it all you want, but you're going to be, you're going to be stuck in the mid card at best, and squash matches, and you know, that's just what it's going to be until you drop this gimmick. And I would like Brodus Clay to go heel. That's just my opinion. CM Punk says that the WWE title is the most important title in the world. Now, it is booked as such in the WWE, I'll give you that, but it's not a fact that it's the most important title. I mean, to me, the big gold belt is such a classic title. The look of it, you know, it's been through NWA, WCW, and WWE, and, you know, there's definitely an argument to be made. Now, I'm not picking one or the other, but you can't say that it's fact that the WWE title is the most important. because an argument can be made for the World Heavyweight title. And on Raw, there was a over the top rope challenge. Okay, now WWE, you can call it whatever the hell you want, but this was a handicap battle royal. Okay, it's 3MB versus Sheamus over the top rope. Just saying. Now, I'm definitely liking the Shield. You know, it's kind of it's been kind of fresh, but to me, for it to continue, there needs to be some kind of revelation. You know, maybe at the Rumble we'll see something, but it needs to be, you know, how to explain this? How do I verbalize this, I should say. If they're going to keep this going, there needs to be a reason that they're doing this more than we're just writing injustices or whatever the hell, you know, they said in that promo. I don't know. There needs, because it doesn't make any sense. Why would you come to the ring to jump Mick Foley? Is it an injustice that he's in the Hall of Fame? I mean, it makes no sense to me. So, please, WWE, give us something more here. Where are the throwbacks? I mean, Mick Foley and Ric Flair, a mashup intro, and a few clips. That's the 20th anniversary of Raw. I remember seeing a commercial that it said something along the lines, I could probably find it on YouTube, but it said something along the lines of, you know, superstars from all 20 years, throughout the years of Monday Night Raw, you know, and it was just a letdown, guys. I mean, it seemed like just another show to me. So we had Miz TV with Miz and Ric Flair, and Antonio Cesaro comes out. Now I know he's the cliche anti-American heel, you know, but I mean, come on, dude. He can't clean Ric Flair's jock, so doesn't make much sense. I don't need to see Dolph Ziggler's ass. And we had a cage match with John Cena and Dolph Ziggler, and it was just like the last match between Ziggler and Cena. You know, decent match. Tons of stuff that should have been 1, 2, 3 with Cena on his back. But the WWE likes to book him as Superman. And I'm not hating on John Cena. If y'all like him, if you don't, that's not what this is about. But if they expect this rivalry, this feud, to continue, to carry on, you know, I assume it'll probably end at the Rumble. But, you know, you can't have a rivalry where one person is winning every match. It just doesn't work. I really enjoyed the Rock concert. That was definitely funny, you know. It kind of reminded me back to the days whenever, there was one in particular, I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2003. You know, don't quote me on that, but it was when The Rock had done a few movies, came back, and it was when he was wearing that big old Brahma Bull belt buckle, and you know, he did one making fun of Stone Cold, and you know, I love it when The Rock does that. I mean, he's an entertainer above all else, so it really works for him, and it was funny. I liked it. Okay, guys, that's my thoughts for this week. I got a surprise coming on Thursday, okay? It's not going to be a DVD review like I usually do. It's going to be something a little bit different, but I hope you guys like it. I want to thank all you guys that are supporting me here on YouTube, and if you're new to my channel, you know, just go ahead and, if you like this, go ahead and hit the like button. I work really hard on these, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.